How you can generate leads when your marketing machine is not ready yet. What tactics can you introduce to level up the game of your existing sales team? And how you can build effective outreach strategies that generate leads, help you grow your business, and make you more money. In today's video, I'm going to talk about B2B sales prospecting. I'm going to explain the term and I'm going to walk you step by step through the process of building effective processes that will help you grow your business. So let's jump right into the topic. So to put things simply, B2B sales prospecting is the process of identifying the potential customers for your business, your products and your services. And that's it. The goal for prospecting is to identify as many customers as you possibly can identify and to build a pipeline that will allow you to sell to them directly. And prospecting can involve a whole bunch of different activities, ranging from cold calling through networking, posting on social media, social selling, market research, and social outreach campaigns. You name it. And before I will jump into how to do prospecting, if you are finding this video interesting, please subscribe to learn more about B2B sales and marketing. How do you actually do prospecting? I think that one of the essential and key foundations for effective prospecting is to strategize and think about the goals that you plan to achieve. What do you actually want to do, to whom, and with what tools? And that are the most essential questions that I would ask myself. Then you should start identifying who is your target customer. And if you have an established business, the best way to do this is to build personas on top of your existing customers. So if you have a certain niche or an industry that you are cooperating with, certain job title of a person that is repeatedly appearing in your sales efforts, these are the starting points that you should begin with. So you should define who are those people, what is the age of these people, what is the most common place of interaction with your brand. Is it a website? Is it social media? Is it an email or is it a conference? And this should be the starting point of creating the proto-personas that you will use to research for more contacts, more prospects, and more potential customers throughout different channels. If you have narrowed down the people, then you should narrow down what or how. So the most essential question that you should ask yourself right now is how does your product, service, how does your business is helping them with their problems, challenges, or things that they want to address. This is super important step because it will help you to craft good messaging, a proper script for a cold calling schema, or any other messaging that you are planning to go with out there in order to attract those people to your offering. If for some reason you don't have existing client base or you plan to target a different client segment, which of course is a smart way to do. If you are looking to expand your business, you should most definitely consider talking with some people that you plan to target in order to define the requirements, in order to define the challenges that they are facing, and then build your messaging and communication schema. And this can be done through networking. You can ask your friends, your colleagues to introduce you to certain people. You can reach out directly to those people and just have a natural, normal, human-to-human conversation that you need some help and you would be very grateful for 5 or 10 minutes of their time on a call. On this call, you should ask open-ended questions in order to find out what is that they are struggling with. What do they want to achieve within their area of expertise and responsibility in their business that they are working on, and so on and so forth. This will help you define the proper messaging and the proper value proposition that you will use in your communication. So after everything is done, so you know who is the person, how you can attract their attention, you need to find these people. And there are countless ways to do this nowadays. And just to name a few, you can of course use LinkedIn, standard normal LinkedIn account for looking through the prospects and finding people out through the LinkedIn search engine, and that's the one thing to do it. Of course, if you have or you can buy yourself a premium account on LinkedIn, that's even better, because LinkedIn Sales Navigator has a super interesting features to narrow down the potential customers, to find people that are fitting certain, even most detailed criteria, and you would be surprised how many different parameters you can set up there in order to find those people. There are also tools out there right now that can help you a great deal with prospecting. And just to name a few, Apollo.io. This is a great tool for prospecting, for finding people and getting to understand what are their needs, what do they want to get, what is their history of employment, and so on and so forth. So you can get a ton of information from Apollo. Also, Apollo has a great web extension that you can use in correlation with browsing LinkedIn and create lists on Apollo that will help you with your sales efforts and outreaching to those people. And there's also one super clever and super interesting and super niche way to do prospecting, and guess what it is? Google. Exactly. So you cannot imagine how many information you can find on a particular organization website, on their social media accounts and profiles, and so on and so forth. So do your due diligence, do your own research before actually engaging with certain customers, because the 90% of prospecting, at least in my opinion, is the preparation phase, in which you are learning about audience, finding out what these people might need, what do they want, and then crafting messages. And the 10% is actually interaction or reaching out to those people. Because the better kind of messages you have, the better value proposition you will craft, the more effective the campaign will be. And the biggest mistake that people are doing with prospecting activities is just assuming that the more people they will get into the pipeline, the more effective the campaign will be. But who wants to do the campaign to 2,000 people and have zero conversion? If you can effectively reach out to 30 people and have 5 people on a call, then there is a chance that, if you assume, of course, at least 20% of the conversion, that one of these people will buy something from you. So I would rather focus on researching, finding out more, and crafting good value proposition instead of just reaching out to as many people as possible with dump emails that everyone will just throw to a trash folder. Before I will jump into the nitty-gritty details about how do you actually engage with the prospects, do subscribe to the channel if you're finding this video interesting. So once you have your target group and you have your excellent, catchy, hooky messages, you of course need to reach out to people. And in my opinion, there are 4 different ways you can do it. Of course, probably you can think of more, 4 key ones. So the first thing that you can do, of course, is to have a cold calling campaign, which in my opinion is underrated. And of course, if cold calling is pushy and does not bring any quality to a potential recipient or potential person that is picking up the phone, then it won't work. But if you have done your homework and you are well prepared to the actual cold calling campaign, then this might work miracles for you. If you have properly identified the niche, and if you will present your value proposition like super quickly on a phone, then you can actually generate a lot of leads if you offer something in return, of course. So one of the things that have worked very well for me in my past businesses was to offer a free consultation on a potential solution to a prospect's problem. And you wouldn't believe how effective those cold calls can be, as long as you address the problem or a potential problem of a person and you're suggesting a free of charge solution to this problem. This can work really good if done right, of course. Another great way of prospecting, or actually reaching out to the prospects that you have already identified, is to network. Networking is a great way of selling. If you do this right, there is a pretty good chance that you will build something that will maybe not immediately give you a return on your investment of time and effort, but at some point in time it will come back. And trust me, I've been a member of multiple branch organizations all over the years, and I still receive recommendations and introductions to people even 2.5 years after I'm not a member anymore. So this can work well. Building relationships with people is, of course, time-consuming process, and you have to invest in order to get a return. But those returns are worth it. Besides joining a networking club or a branch organization, you can just attend events in your city, in your town, and in the neighborhood that are relevant for the community that you are targeting. So if there is a meetup for people related to software development, you can go and learn what these people need. If there is a meetup for people involved with marketing or any other kind of activities, you can of course go there and meet people that are relevant to you. This can result in immediate business, but this can also be something that will enrich your value proposition even further. And last but not least, you can of course attend a virtual meeting. That might be very interesting, but you have to take into account that relationships that are built over Zoom or any other platform are just harder to grasp. I would say they are harder to nurture, and it's not as natural for us humans to build relationships through digital. Of course, COVID has changed a lot in this department, but still, if you have option to choose between virtual and real life event, I would go for the latter in order to maximize the chances of building quality relationships. The third way to reach out to your prospects is, of course, email marketing. And here you can use two different tactics. You can either go cold mailing kind of way, or you can go email marketing kind of way. And the latter require you to prepare a lead magnet that you will then promote through social media, through paid ads, and people will leave their email in exchange for a particular asset that you have prepared. And this can be very effective because people are more willing to contact you or hear from you if they have agreed on doing so. But this will require more time and effort. I have a video here on the channel about building an effective lead magnet. So if you are interested in doing that, check it out. This pretty much explains the process from start to finish. But if you would like to go the second way, so the cold email way, then of course there are a lot of places where you can get people's emails, but be very careful about that because there are law regulations that are specific for different regions throughout the world, and in EU especially it's pretty hardcore. You shouldn't just send a selling email or an offer through the email because you might get penalized. In different countries the penalties are ranging, so I will not jump into the details here, but be careful about that. If you are compliant and if you are sure that in your country you can do cold emailing at scale, or at least to some people, then Apollo is the place to go for emails that you probably should then verify and so on and so forth. That's a pretty complex process, but this can work relatively well if done right. Again, if messaging is aligned with the value proposition, then you can actually generate some leads through this channel. Of course, you can get people's emails also directly from their LinkedIn accounts. For example, a lot of people have their emails visible on their LinkedIn. So if you are targeting small group of people, there is a chance that you can just effectively reach out to them by finding out what their emails are. And what I think is very important in here is that before you automate your cold emails, make sure that the message that you're sending is working. So I would rather spend a couple of days with a couple of hours at my disposal to write one-on-one messages to people, or to even record a personalized video. And I have done campaigns like that in the past and they have worked really well. Instead of just crafting very generic email that everyone is sending. Hi, I found you on LinkedIn and I was thinking that maybe we can do business. What time do you have next week? The effectiveness of such a campaign will be very insignificant, if not none. So I would rather invest my time in building relationships with 5 people than trying to reach out into thousands of them and do not have any effect from that kind of campaign. And the fourth and final way to, of course, build relationship is the social media outreach. And this means more than the reaching out and DMing people at scale. Again, I would rather focus on commenting people's posts, on joining the community on Reddit and helping people over a certain period of time by giving away your knowledge for free, by helping people in different cases, by letting people know that you are there for them instead of just DMing at scale. And this is probably pretty natural because if you would be the person of influence comments or a recognizable person, and you are getting 15, 20, 25 comments over the course of a couple of weeks from one person, and then this person reaches out to you and says, "Hi, my name is XYZ, and I would like to have a couple of minutes of conversation with you," agreeing to something like that would feel pretty natural. But if you are receiving a direct message from a random person that you just haven't seen and haven't heard from or heard of in the past, then it's probably not something that you would like to engage in. So just to summarize, if you plan to do your outreach, I would rather spend a lot of time on preparation phase and finding people that fit your criteria, crafting a good message and value proposition that will fit their needs instead of just doing random stuff at scale. If you will plan an experiment on a small group of people and you will have some results with those small actions, then there is a good chance that if you plan to automate later on, if you plan to do it at a more bigger scale later on, you will get better results and you will be more successful. The effective preparation phase, I think, is crucial in the process. If you found this video interesting and you would like to learn more about B2B sales and marketing, do subscribe. If you have any questions about B2B prospecting, or you would like me to cover something else in the upcoming videos, please let me know in the comment section and I'll be more than happy to prepare something for you. Have a great day ahead and see you soon.